right, Matrixx and Rhodes show supporters. Well, don't you find it odd that in today's America that all these celebrities and all these Hollywood elites and these singers, songwriters, Hollywood directors, actors, actresses, leftists, they all want Americans to turn in their guns. That's right. Hand in your weapons. We believe that if we give up our guns, if you turn in your guns, there will be no more gun crime. It's so strange because, you know, what criminals don't do very well is follow actual laws. Yeah, laws set up by the land. Criminals tend to not follow said laws, and in turn, they are called criminals, right? And can you imagine a world in this day and time where you would turn in your guns the way things constitutionally stand right now? Would you possibly turn in your weapons? There's not a chance in the pit of Hades I would turn in my guns, especially in the direction we're going. Plus, it's our right as a United States citizen to defend ourselves and be armed. It's called the Second Amendment. Well, I was talking to my wife the other day, and I said, isn't it crazy how two of the singers that we grew up listening to that you would think would actually be like full steam ahead, America first citizens in this country, because they sang this very down-home patriotic music in the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s, and I'm talking about Bruce Springsteen and John Cougar Mellencamp. I myself had records of both artists, right? Well, unfortunately, both have turned out to be complete leftist lunatics, and they're following the mainstream narrative day in, day out, week in, week out. And they believe that if you hand in your weapons, that everything will be just fine. By the way, have you seen the thugs that got arrested from the Kansas City parade? The shooting? You notice how that's not getting a lot of play all of a sudden? It's funny how that works. Those shooters don't fit the narrative, right? You can bet your ass one thing. If that would have been some white Christian males, that shooting would be everywhere, still getting nonstop coverage from the mainstream media. All of a sudden, it's gotten very quiet. It's gotten very quiet. Well, John Cougar, he's come out and he's made some statements. He wants you to give up his guns because he's brave, stunning, and courageous, says he probably walks around with private security and lives in a compound somewhere at no actual threat of being a victim in this country. You know, I feel like guys like him and Bruce Springsteen should literally refund us all. I mean, give us refunds. Because the very backs of the people that you built your wealth on, that purchased your music, are the people that you are betraying now and you have turned your back on. Let's be real. It's mostly patriots that probably bought their music in the 70s and 80s and 90s, born in the USA, small town, Jack and Diane, all these great, wholesome tunes that we grew up listening to. But these are the very people that want you to give up your rights as an American to protect yourself. John Cougar Mellencamp demands media, quote, shock America out of its stupor and publish photos of children killed in shootings. Who killed these children? I'm willing to bet it was actual criminals. And criminals are not going to follow your gun laws. In fact, if you want to take the Pepsi challenge, what is a fact in this country, and it is a fact, is that Democratic leftist cities tend to have the strictest gun laws in the country, and people are shooting themselves to death daily in these cities. Isn't that funny how that works? Famed Jack and Diane singer John Mellencamp reacted to the Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting by calling for more gun control and urging news outlets to, quote, be brave enough to publish photos of slain children. Mellencamp used a post on X to say, let's just go over to said post. Excuse me for stating the obvious. I do so out of love for this country and the pain of learning once again that children have been killed by gun violence. If we as a country want to find the collective will within ourselves to change our gun laws, let's stop playing silly political games. Show the carnage on the news. Show the American people the dead children and others who have been struck down. Show us what guns and bullets can do to the human body. The news media needs to be brave enough to let Americans see what slaughtered children look like. Otherwise, I fear that too many perceive gun violence as abstract, a story that's repeated nearly every day to a numbing effect. When I was a teenager, there was a war in Vietnam. In the beginning, no one paid much attention to the problem in a foreign land until the media shouldered the responsibility and showed America how our sons were being slaughtered. Once those images were shown on TV, there was overwhelming demand for that war to be ended immediately. I say this as a father and a human being with deep empathy for the parents whose children have had their lives ended so suddenly and so senselessly. Show America the carnage. I'm not being callous, and I know it will be painful to see, but to say, I think it's the only way to shock America out of its stupor. Hashtag gun control now. Hashtag gun violence. Hashtag empathy. Hashtag gun laws. Hashtag change. Fact is, there's gun laws that are in place right now, John Cougar Mellencamp, and said people pulling the trigger, they're not following your gun laws. They're not following your gun laws. So, proud law-abiding citizens that want to be able to defend themselves with their Second Amendment rights, well, they weighed in on the singer and his leftist rant that he decided to post here. So let's just see. There's Matthew Marsden right there. He's an actual actor. Played on The Walking Dead. Oh, bleep off. Yeah, just go F the hell off right there, John Cougar. Nope. Tell the Democrats to disarm the gangbangers in Chicago. Start there. Absolutely. I mean, look, let's be real. Get rid of you and every celebrity's personal hired security first. Then you can preach about gun violence. And even then, no, you're not taking my guns. No kids were killed, John. Okay. Enforce the gun laws that are on the books already. Enforce the immigration laws that are on the books already. Make the prosecutor and judge abide by those laws. Then we can have change. The answer is not more laws that will not be prosecuted and infringe on law-abiding citizens. That is the issue. You notice you don't ever see actual non-criminal law-abiding citizens going out and pulling their guns and shooting in crowds, because that doesn't happen. What they're also not doing is roaming the streets of Chicago, Baltimore, and St. Louis, San Francisco, and L.A., shooting them each other all weekend long, all week long. It just kills me when I'm looking at Chicago's shootings and I see a shooting at 9 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday. No, law-abiding citizens don't actually go out on a Sunday morning and pop caps in anybody. Tell me exactly what gun laws do you think this individual would follow? That dude right there. Yeah, just wondering. Can we know? Inquiring minds want to know. When I see what guns can do to children, it makes me want to buy another gun to protect children from such carnage. I mean, honestly, yeah. Liberals scream, save the children from the guns. Followed by abort them, mask them, jab them, distance them, medicate them, indoctrinate them, mutilate them, sexualize them, and traffic them. Oh, by the way, disarm yourself so we can do all of that. Is this you during the national anthem while stuffing your face? Yeah, I don't listen to people like you. There he is right there. Everybody standing for the national anthem. That douchebag is sitting down. Wow. Again, how about refunding us our money for the purchases of your bullshit fake music? Come on. I mean, honestly, it's crazy. With the country's crime increasing because it goes unpunished, I will not give up the protection that I have to keep my family safe. I will not be a victim. Agreed. Criminals always obey gun laws. We should pass more laws to strip law-abiding citizens of their ability to defend themselves. It makes them feel good about themselves. Yeah. I mean, come on. 1 million kids are killed each year in a woman's womb, John. Will showing that carnage help you support life? Question mark? That's a great question. It is. So you made money singing lies about loving America. Got it. That's how about it? How do you feel about abortion, clown? Murder is already illegal. What new law would prevent this? That's exactly it. We have laws against fentanyl, yet over 100,000 Americans were killed last year by it. Laws don't stop criminals, John. Asking law-abiding citizens to give up their right to defend themselves and their families is illogical. I'm 5 foot, 100 pounds. You're not taking my guns away, dipshit. Spoken like a true out-of-touch entertainer. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Enforcing current laws, especially on gangs, and actually punishing them would reduce gun violence and mass shootings significantly. Infringing and disenfranchising lawful Americans will do nothing to stop gun violence. We've already proven this. And that is the one I will end on. Wow. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? The very entertainers that you thought were so patriotic and America first have turned out to be some of the most radical leftist douchebags we have ever seen in all of our lives. And they would love nothing more than you to turn in your guns and not be able to defend yourself. Isn't it odd how that's such a priority? They would love America to disarm themselves, the law-abiding citizens, that is. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And by the way, I could have kept going. I could have made an hour-long video of John Cougar getting absolutely destroyed. Pink houses, whatever. Kiss my ass. Rat bastard. I mean, it drives me nuts. Truly. That guy's a total lunatic. Yeah. Private security everywhere. Probably carrying AR-15s. It's their right to have it. They're law-abiding citizens. Now, you're protected by it, right? You know, myself and John had a live stream the other day. We talked about the kind of laws that we would pass to make sure this kind of thing didn't happen again. We were calling for public beheadings to be televised. That might wake up some folks. Take some of those gangbangers out on TV, televise it, and off with their heads. Some people might start thinking twice about their actions. I don't know. Doesn't sound harsh to me, right? We're in a crisis. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.